But I'm going to start on the outside arteries. This is the common carotid artery, just to orient you. And then it bifurcates into the external carotid here and the internal carotid there. Now they're not even on your list. I'm just showing, the internal carotid is, but the other two aren't. I'm just showing you where you're going with this. This is an internal carotid. The internal carotid joins the circle of Willis. In addition, I have these vertebral arteries here running through the transverse foramina of my cervical vertebrae. And that vertebral artery is going to go into my skull. And then I start looking into my skull. This vertebral artery here and that vertebral artery there, they fuse together right here by what I say is a centipede-looking artery, because it kind of looks like it has legs. That's called the basilar artery, or some people can pronounce that basilar artery. And then that basilar artery runs into my circle of Willis. This is my circle of Willis. The circle is made by two arteries. The back half of the circle is made by this posterior communicating artery. The front half of the circle is made by this anterior communicating artery. Coming off the back half of the circle, or my posterior communicating arteries, is this posterior cerebral artery here and this posterior cerebral artery here. Coming off the center is this middle cerebral artery here and this middle cerebral artery here. Look at how the middle cerebral artery has a big bulge right there. That's where the internal carotid joins. That's why it's such a big bulge, is because my internal carotid is coming in. And then coming off my anterior communicating artery is this anterior cerebral here and this anterior cerebral here. Those are the arteries of the circle of Willis. And then I have my dural venous sinuses. And my dural venous sinuses are named like this. This is my superior sagittal sinus, and it's in the sagittal plane, and it's on the top of the head, superior sagittal sinus. This right here is my transverse sinus, and it actually runs right where the transverse fissure separating the cerebellum from the cerebrum is. That's my transverse sinus. And then down in here, you can see the occipital sinus, but you can actually see it better in here. You can see the occipital sinus here and here running over towards the jugular veins. That's the occipital sinus, running by the occipital condyles and the foramen magnum. And that's it for the sinuses.